drive away on you. Carefree highway, you've seen better days.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please direct your attention to the center stage.
Let's get this show on the road.
Listen, do you hear it? It's getting closer.
This is an emergency. Echo has reached critical level.
Folks, it's showtime.
Welcome to the Wonders of Transportation with Professor David Noyce. And now, please welcome the Guru of Guardrail, the Sorcerer of Skid Marks, the man who put dummy into crash tests, Professor David Noyce!
All right, good morning. Welcome to the Wonders of Transportation. We have a wonderful show for you this morning, and I'm going to show you a lot of different things that are changing in our transportation environment. Before I do, let me introduce you to some of my helpers today. Andy Bill is my co-host and will be working with us throughout the way. We have Arup on controls, and I have some more good graduate students around that'll be helping us as we go through the show. All right? So let's think about transportation a little bit. How many of you have used transportation already this morning? How many of you have not? One, right? There's always one in every crowd. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, everybody uses transportation no matter where we go, right? Transportation is part of all our lives. So, what is transportation then by definition? What do we say it is? What do you think? This is the interactive part. All right? What do you think? What do you think transportation is? Exactly, right? And how do we want to get there? Fast, safe, and efficiently, right? So if we pop up the definition, so when we talk about transportation, we're talking about the safe and efficient movement of people and goods, right? All those things that we consume on a regular basis. Now, transportation takes on a lot of different modes. It can be rural transportation with cars, trucks, buses. It can be other freeway type situations, urban congestion.
I can speak clearly now.
See, while we drive, we got the Golden Gate. We have rail, right? We have the Rice-A-Roni. We have buses. We have fire. We have emergency vehicles. We have trains. We have planes. We have people, pedestrians and bikes. We have rollerblades. We have water. And last but certainly not least, we have pipe flow, right? Pipe flow is actually a part of our transportation system. So a lot of different modes of transportation the way we know it, right? What we use on a daily basis. Now, let's take a quick look here at some of the basic elements of transportation. So on the next slide here, how many of you have seen these along the corner of some intersections? Everybody? Some of you? So what type of intersections do you find them? Ones that have traffic signals, right? So let's take a look. How many of you have seen the inside of one of these boxes? Not many, right? That mystery box that exists. So let's go ahead and open this up. And I'll put some lights on, and we'll put some power on, and turn it on here, and turn it on there. And I have my little controller element operating. And what you see is it's really just a big group of electronics, right? And as you look up on top there, there's some key parts here that I want to make sure we all know. First one being the traffic signal controller. There's something that we're going to talk about that's called the MMU. And then there's some other elements of electronics. So the loop detector amplifiers, which is up top here, are something that we'll mention here in just a second. So let's start by talking about the controller. All right? The controller is really kind of like a clock. You know, it's the key brains of what's so funny? Okay? It's the key brains of the clock operation, right? And this is what makes the lights turn on, makes them go red, makes them go yellow, makes them go green, and decides how long that it happens. So if I open this up on the inside, we see that it's really nothing more than some computer boards, right? Computer chips. So it's a fancy way. In the old days, we just used dial clocks. Now it's all computerized. So it's a real neat and efficient way for us to operate the traffic signal system. The next piece of equipment I want to mention is perhaps the most important one inside the cabinet controller, and that's something that we call MMU. And it stands for Malfunction Management Unit. All right? How many moms do we have in the crowd here today? Yeah, I have some moms? I got to find a mom. Here's a mom right up close here. How many children do you have?
2.
2, boy or girl?
Both girls.
All right. Now, what happens, it probably doesn't happen in your house, but what happens when the girls do something that's really awful? How does mom take care of that?
I make sure I don't leave any visible marks.
No visible marks, right? So when mom's law comes down, then that's the rules, right? So you're very much like an MMU.
Okay.
Really? Because you know what the MMU stands for? It stands for Mind Your Mother, It Gets Ugly. Right? MMU. Right? And that's exactly really what it is. I mean, the MMU is your mother within the system that says if something goes wrong, the rules change. Everything stops. And I put it into, although it's hard to see because I don't have the big signal lights illuminated, it puts it into flash mode. So every once in a while you may come up on an intersection which is flashing in the middle of the day. You're kind of going, why? I mean, what's going on? Well, something went wrong on the inside. And it's preventing things from happening, such as giving green to all the approaches. So everybody's coming at each other. If that would come up, this would override the system and shut it down. So I always describe to my students here at the university that this is your mother. And if you remember that, then you always remember how this piece of equipment works. Okay? Next, well, I want to talk to you a little bit about traffic signals. So I'm going to shut this down. And traffic signals are obviously the next part of this control because that's what we see when we drive along the system, right? Now, we have all different types of traffic signals, different types of sizes and shapes that we use. And you know, probably the best way to talk about traffic signals is to play a game.